Hi, in this video, we will be talking about why it is so important to have specific prayers. And we will narrow down the topic by having one, the definition and the importance of it. Second is the the Bible verse that I usually and deeply follow whenever I pray things, especially when I'm anxious or I'm in desperate mode. And also third part of the video is my story and how having specific prayers allowed me to increase my faith, even if my faith is as this tiny, like tiny as the mustard seed, but it's all answered. Thank God. But yeah, so let's start by saying specific prayers gives you clarity. Now, would I have a question. Would you be happy if your, say, mom or dad gives you a youth car or pickup car if you really wanted an SUV? Or would you be happy if you get a job, the job that you really want, but you have to travel like 3 hours or 2 hours just to get into that job? Or you finally got the promotion that you want, but in at the wrong timing, like something just doesn't sit right. This is why a specific prayer is very important, because it narrows down your focus and it reminds you of what you really want, and it also redirect your energy and focus when it comes to, say, for example, job hunting. um I used to not say specific prayers before. Whenever I'm looking for a job, I would just only say, God, I hope you would give me a nurse job that you think is fit for me. That's it. Thank you for all your guidance. And I really wanted this job. Say, for example, I'm really desperate of this job that I really wanted to apply for. I really wanted this. Help me get this job. Then full stop. And I tell you, when my prayers are like that, I don't really usually get the things that I want. I usually get rejected, especially when you're desperate. But yeah, so um, we always have desires in our heart, but we have to learn how to truly communicate what we really want. If you want a car, you have to tell God what kind of car you want. Would you want a ute? Would you want an SUV, a sedan, a hatchback, a van? Or like what color would it be? Like blue, dark blue, red, yellow, white, black? Or, if you're wishing to have a job, like what kind of job would you really want to do? What kind of environment? How far would you be willing to travel? What kind of people do you expect to be working with? Would you be happy? How much pay are you happy to tolerate on? There's a lot of things that we have to say, but apparently we don't really say it up front. I don't really know. Like, maybe nobody really told me before that I needed to be very specific with my prayers. But I just learned to express my feelings and emotions from very general to specific ideas inside my brain and inside my heart. And the verse that really encouraged me to say things specifically is the verse in Philippians chapter 4 verse 67 that says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. And so this verse really reminds me that whenever I become so desperate, whenever I really wanted an answer straight away, like I'm in the I want to control this situation mode. I usually am reminded with this first that I am anxious, one, that I shouldn't be, because I have an Almighty who will take care of it for me. And I every time I say specific prayers, I usually feel better. Like I feel better every after prayer, not because I know it's answered or straight away or I have it straight away, but because it gives me a um, sense of peace, like sense of trust that everything's gonna be okay regardless of what will happen. And it allows me to let go of the sense of control that I really am having in the situation. um, and it allows me to truly believe that everything's gonna happen and everything's gonna be all right, and I will be all right, whether or not I have the thing that I'm praying for, or whether or not what will happen tomorrow. Like everything is gonna be all right. Nothing is certain. I understand that, but whenever I do specific prayers, it essentially allows me and reminds me to just give it to God. Okay, let go and let God do the work. Like just trust. I know trust can be really a hard thing, and being faithful is really hard as well. There were countless of times where I usually say to God, Lord, I don't really have faith right now. Like I don't have it. And it's really hard for me to be faithful in this season because of everything that's happening with my work, with my family, with my relationship, with with the struggles I am dealing with in my life. And so I am having a hard time seeing you as my protector and my provider. I'm getting emotional right now, but it happens. Being a Christian doesn't mean you have to be all out faithful. No, because God understands that we're not perfect. And God understands that we wavers, our faith wavers, our emotion wavers. We're like, waves. We come high and low, and sometimes we just needed help. And that's when God delivers and answers in ways that's beyond our imagination. Um, I've got a lot of stories in my mind of the things that were answered after having very specific prayers. I've got um, with my relationship with my current job, and also back then when I was called to be a COVID nurse. Um, so 2020, when pandemic hit, right? I was working as a nurse in United Arab Emirates. I felt in my heart that I really wanted to help at that time, but I am totally scared. Like I was so scared. Nobody knows if you join the healthcare force at that time, nobody really knows if you'll be alive the next day, the next month, or the next year. It's just too scary. Feels like the entire world is covered with uncertainties and fear of death and infection. And I felt in my heart that I was really called to join the COVID-19 nurse responders for the country. But then when I came to a point where I truly confirmed that that's what God has want me to do, I was praying specifically for like three things. One is, Lord, I need you to give me a verse, like a confirmation that you really, really want me to join this. Like, this is not something I am making up in my mind. Like, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just hearing things. Maybe I just feel like you're calling me, but you're not really calling me to do this task. Maybe I just wanted to help, you know? And let me feel that that verse is for me. If you want me to join as a COVID nurse back in 2020, I need you to tell me if I will be alive or not after years of serving. Like, when the pandemic ends, if you plan to end it, that was my prayer before. If you plan to end it, would I be still alive? Because I can't just, sacrifice myself and be dead. I want a reassurance that I will still be alive, because I wanted to migrate to other country, because I still want to find the right man for me, be in a relationship, be and have a family, like live, and because I wanted to be a mom. I also was praying to God to if he allows me to join the forces. I wanted another reassurance from my mom. If that really comes from God, I want my mom to confirm it to me too. Why? Because we are asked to honor our parents in the Bible. That's one of the 10 commandments, and I don't want to disrespect my mom if she's not really happy with me joining the force. And the third is, I was asking for very specific prayers about what company would you want, would he want me to join, because at that time there were mass hirings for nurses to do the job, but I was specifically praying for a company who would. So I was asking for a very good company that's known internationally. There's a lot of things in the list that I have. So funny. Hear me out. Okay, so I want that company to offer me, I think, 15,000 dirhams monthly pay, free transportation every day going to work, free hotel accommodation in a luxury stays, free food morning and night, free laundry, and what else was I praying? And good colleagues. I think that was the things that I was asking God for. And so everything was answered. Yeah, I was reading my Bible that time as I was seeking an answer from God. I was telling my core group leader about what I was feeling, about the calling that I am having inside my heart, and me trying to seek for confirmation for a verse. After like one month of fasting, no, not 1 month, but like I think that was a week of fasting and a month of seeking wholeheartedly, I found the verse that I was searching for. And that verse was in Psalm 91. And Psalm 91 tells me, many people will die on your left, 10,000 on your right, but it will not come to you. And when I was reading that verse, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the verse that I was dying to receive, like the confirmation I'm having. God is essentially telling me a lot of people will die. Patients will die. People around me will die. but he has promised that I will never get COVID. And because of that, I will I will still be alive after I join the contract, and I will essentially be having my own family, own partner, and own life in another country. It felt surreal when that happened, to be honest. Um, when I knew about the verse, I was like, really? I won't be having COVID. I don't think that's possible because I will be working as a COVID nurse, and I will be serving patients who have COVID. And I would possibly be working for God knows how long, a year or two. And I don't think it's possible for me not to get COVID because it's infectious. Like, people are dying everywhere. I was prepared to get infected. Like, dude, I was so prepared. But that was 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 6 years had passed. I have never had COVID in my entire life. Never. I have wished to have COVID when I was working as a COVID nurse because I was so exhausted. I think we didn't have any day offs, working for 2 weeks or straight 12 days. I was like, Lord, can you just give me COVID so I can just rest? Because whenever you have COVID that time, you're allowed to like essentially quarantine for 14 days, and you can essentially rest for longer periods. But I felt sore throat. I was doing PCR tests, but not. I didn't have COVID. I don't know what it feels like having COVID until now. And every time I remember that promise, it reminds me, and it reminded me that God's promise never fails. And that when He says something to you, He will keep that promise. And I am still protected with COVID until now, and I probably will never have COVID in my entire life because I have obeyed too. Sorry, excuse my language. I didn't really mean to cry and be emotional, but and when I received that verse, I was like, okay, this is getting real. Do you think, Lord, my mom would allow me? Because I'm the only girl in my family. Like, I've got 2 male siblings, but I don't think my mom would allow me to join because it's just too scary. Like, there's no reassurance, like. But when I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, would you allow me to join the healthcare forces for the COVID pandemic response? And my mom, I was expecting mom to say no. But you know what my mom said? She just said, if that's what you are desiring to do, then please follow your heart. And if that's what you really want to do, then yes, I will support you. When I got that confirmation from my mom, I was like, okay, I need to resign from my current job. Because, I need to resign. I have decided to resign even if I didn't have the next job yet as a COVID nurse. Crazy. I've never had a crazy faith until it happened, until God allowed me to experience his glory and provision in my life. When I decided to quit my job, I tell you, I didn't have the company yet as to work with as a COVID nurse. When I resigned, I was like, okay, God, I have finally resigned. This is so crazy because we are in the middle of pandemic and I'm resigning for a job while everyone's losing their job. Do you get my point? Like, there's no sense. Even the people around me in the church were like, why are you resigning for something that's really not sure? Like, everyone's losing their job. You still have your job. It's intact. Why are you resigning for a job that's, uncertain and you don't even know if you'll be safe or not? But I have to listen. But I have to keep going and I have to obey. I have told my life group leader, and she and her husband was praying with me at that time. I was like, okay, bring it on. I'm gonna start applying now. Like, I'm resigned. I'm officially jobless. Bring it on. I'm gonna start applying. But I am so adamant at sticking to my prayer request when it comes to the benefits that I will be having, because I was like, Lord, if you're calling me to be a COVID nurse, might as well give me everything I needed, for me to get protected, for me to be comfortable, and for me to at least feel that you are providing everything for me. So let me say this again. I was praying for a company, an international company. That's the number one on my list. A company that would pay me 15,000 dirhams. A company that would give me hotel accommodations, and not just hotel accommodations. I was asking for 5-star hotel accommodations in the country. Food allowance, laundry, transportation, good friends. I've got 11 specific prayer requests on my list, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I have never prayed that specific in my entire life. I tell you, it made me feel like I was crazy. That was crazy times. That was ridiculous times. But I knew inside my heart that I will find that company. I knew it. I just knew straight away that God will provide everything I needed. He just wants my yes, and he will provide everything I needed. That's what I have in my mind and in my heart. 2 weeks of applying for the job, I got a call. And that company was an international company who was offering me everything that I was wishing for on my prayer list. International company, 15K dirhams salary, hotel accommodation, not to mention luxury accommodations, Radisson, Hyatt, name all the expensive hotels in the country. Food, accommodation, transport accommodation, laundry. I was having vacation for 2 years because I was being obedient and because I was being specific with my prayer. Jeez, it's already 24 minutes. I didn't notice I've been talking that long, but hey, if you're still here, if you're still around, Thank you for hanging tight with me, but appreciate your time. But yeah, I got everything I needed. I've got the company. I've started with that company June 16, 2020. My contract ended 8th of May 2021. After that, I moved to Australia. I got my permanent residency. I found my partner. We've got this house. Tell me my God is not the God of heavens. If you want something in your life, I plead you, I implore you, be specific with your prayers. Be specific. Okay? It's not like you have to be, how should I say that? How should I word that one? Like you have to really stick on what you're praying for, but also tell God to humble you and redirect you if what you've been praying for is not aligned with what He wants you to do. That's a true humility. You pray to God your specifics, but at the same time you accept His direction, His rejections, and His timing in your life. I will say the verse again. Do not be anxious. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Present it and be specific. And wait and ask for clarity. Ask for wisdom. Ask for the Holy Spirit to wisdom, to give you wisdom, to understand His purpose and His direction into your life. I want to hear it. When you finally get your answered prayer, I want to hear it. And hopefully we can come back to this video and talk about our experiences, a personal experience of how we taste and see that the Lord is good. That's all for me. I hope I encourage you with my faith that's, that withers sometimes. It's not even. But I am proud that I have a God that loves me regardless of my imperfections. That's it for now. Love you all. Much love. Cheers.